Hey Algebra. So in this video, let's talk about graphing some special lines, which in particular are horizontal and vertical lines. Just kind of reminder from before that if it's a horizontal line, the slope is 0, and if it's a vertical line, the slope is undefined. Okay, so now when I'm asked to graph y equals 3, there's a few ways you can go about it. But one of my favorites that really helps people understand what the graph is supposed to look like is actually making a table. Okay, so I'm going to make a table. Now when we graph a line, we need 2 points. In order to have a line, you need at least 2 points, because then you can connect those 2 points to create your line. So if I'm going to create 2 points, I'm going to listen to my equation. My equation says that y equals 3. So what that means is that the y value is always 3. So when I write my 2 points, I'm going to pick 2 points where the y value is 3. Now this equation says nothing about x. And so I can pick x to be whatever I want. I'll probably pick numbers that are on the graph that I have, so somewhere between -4 and 4. So maybe I'll pick 0. Because 0 is always a nice x value. Maybe I'll pick 2. Right? So I picked 0, 3, and 2, 3 as my 2 points, and notice the y value is always 3, because that's what the equation tells me. So now I go to my graph, and I can plot those 2 points. 0, 3 is right there, and 2, 3 is right there, right 2 up 3. And now that I have those 2 points, I can connect them, and it creates this horizontal line at y equals 3. So that's a great way to do that problem. Let's try another. Here, my equation is x equals -1. So similarly, I can draw a table, and in that table, this time my equation tells me that x is always -1. So I need 2 points, and I'll call them -1 for x and -1 for x, because in every point on this line, x will be -1. Y, I get to pick whatever I want. So maybe I'll do 0, and maybe I'll do -3 this time. So I have 2 points now, where the x value is 1, or -1, sorry. So I can go to 0, or -1, 0, which is left 1, and then I don't go up or down. And then -1, -3, I go left 1 and down 3. And once again, I have 2 points that now I can connect. And so they create a vertical line at x equals -1. So, little summary here, x equals a number leads to a vertical line, and y equals a number leads to a horizontal line. Okay, but you can always make a table with 2 points to help make sure you're graphing it correctly. So here what I want you to do is pause the video and try these 2 equations out. X equals 2, graph that one, and then if you have a different color, maybe use a different color to graph y equals -4. Make a table for each with 2 points, and then unpause and check your answer. Alright, how'd you do? So I graphed my x equals 2 in green. I chose 2 points, 2, 4, and 2, 0, and then connected them to make a vertical line. And then y equals -4, I graphed in red, and you can see it down here, it's horizontal line at y equals -4. Alright, the final piece of this section here is dealing with some application problems. So in this problem, we actually have to use the information we're given to come up with an equation. Alright, so I'm going to look at what it tells me. It says Becky decides to join Lifetime Fitness for an initiation fee of $150, and then she must pay $75 per month. So when you look at those two things, we want to think about, well, which one of those is happening over and over again? That one represents your slope. So here, my $75 per month, that happens over and over again. So my m, oops, let's do a pen. My m equals 75. And then the initiation fee, that's like the starting amount. We call that the y-intercept. So so I'm going to have a y-intercept of 0, comma 150. So next what I want to do is actually label my axes. So I know that the number of months, usually time is your x-axis, so I'm going to call time in months the x-axis. And then the y-axis is the cost in dollars. Okay, so we can pick a scale for the axes. I'm thinking for x-axis, every 2 tick marks will make a month. And on the y-axis, all right, let's think about my dollar amounts. I'm paying $75 a month and an initiation fee of $150. So I kind of think we should count up by 75s. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can do that on your own paper. So as I was counting up, I started to notice that every 4 tick marks is $300. So then I just said that's 600 and that's 900. Okay, so now to graph this, I know because I have that slope and y-intercept, I can just have this nice easy equation, y equals 75x plus 150. Kind of going in reverse. We know that 150 is the y-intercept and 75 is the slope. So I will put a y-intercept at 150, and then my slope says go up 75 over 1. So I'm going to go up 75 over 1, gets me right there. And I keep doing that, and this is going to represent the total cost. So after I draw a few points, I can connect them. All right. And one thing I want to just talk about is like, what does this now represent? Well, if I were given the graph and asked you what does the y-intercept represent, you would say the initial cost, and then the slope is the dollars per month. So if you think about 75 having a unit, it's $75 per month. Okay, I think that's all. Thanks for watching.